of having a consensual
I think our president should behave better than a rock star when he's faced with that kind of a situation. But something else here, I think that the Democrats in the Senate, as Paul Gigot of the Wall Street Journal has said, might want to consider appointing a chaperone for the president for the next 2 years, maybe a sort of Miss Ratchet type who can follow him around 24 hours a day and make sure that this doesn't happen again, because a man who is this compulsive, who will sink to those depths, who will so easily use and exploit young women barely older than his own daughter, is sure to fall into this kind of a situation again. And I wonder what those Democrats who got him out of this situation this time are going to do when the next scandal explodes.
Betsy, if I might interject, that was a wonderful speech, but I don't really think you're going to see this happening again. And maybe I am wrong, and we shall see on that. But
2 more years, Deborah, that's a long time for this president.
Betsy, stupid he's not. And he's made terrible mistakes in the past. I don't think you're going to see this kind of behavior again. But
I think
at the same time, I don't think...
to use a woman like this in the Oval Office, a 21-year-old girl, who knows who else she would have told?
It was a consensual relationship, and you want to call that using, that's
he didn't know her
your choice.
name for the first several months that this was going on. Come on.
Betsy, read the transcript. She was the one who showed him her thong, and she went after him.
And you know what Al Gore would have done if she showed him her thong underwear? He would have said, "Get this woman away from me. What is that?"
But
somehow,
even still,
I don't think that Bill Clinton should have been expected to sink to that.
But even still, that isn't the issue. And you and I can disagree.
Why not?
But the fact is, because it's not about someone making a moral judgment on Bill Clinton. This is about a legal case, the case of impeachment brought against him.
It's about perjury and obstruction of justice. I agree.
He deserves to be either convicted, if that's what you and your people believe, then they should follow through and convict him, or he deserves to be acquitted. He's already been censured.
I agree with you I agree that those are the two choices available and the only two. And those who would advocate some sort of censure are nothing but hypocrites.
Obviously, this late in the process, some pretty big disagreements about how it should all end up. Deborah Rich and Betsy Hart, thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
Well, an end to the impeachment trial could be near, and some Democrats are working on that proposal we just talked about, the proposal to censure the president. Last night, Republican Senator Pete Domenici told Brit Hume why he thinks choosing censure will only damage the presidency.
It'd be repealed by a future Congress, right?
Well, actually, I think there's far worse precedent set with reference to the presidents of the future if you adopt the censure on this. This means that that we can adopt censures which says we find that the president acted inconsistent with his public responsibilities, and if we do this, we can do it on almost anything that we disagree with him on. It weakens the presidency far more than if we were to have made findings of fact. The precedent is very bad, in my opinion.
Well, does that mean, Senator, that even if language in a censure resolution developed by the Democrats or with Democrats on board were similar to the language in your findings of fact, that you and others who think as you do would vote against it?
Well, look, we were trying to put something together that would bring both parties together. Frankly, I've been taking a look at the censure resolution that the Democrats in the United States House proposed that they did not have a chance to vote on, and I think that's that might be looked at by more Republicans because it adequately states the facts that most Americans believe.
I don't know if you noticed it, though, Senator, that if you look carefully at the text of that, that it never actually censures him. It speaks of censure, and it talks about having censured him, but it never says that he is hereby censured.
Well, maybe that's the case, but I thought at the end it said, therefore, he is censured. But that's easy to do. That was what they proposed as their censure agreement, and some of you all ought to show the American people that, because I think they would agree with that.
Well, but it also doesn't say anything about lying to the courts, as I recall, Senator.
Well, I read it today, and it's got some very, very excellent findings. Let me tell you, the most interesting thing is that what we were trying to do to get Democrats to support was what the American people believe. It's not like we were trying in this one to go with 25 or 30% of Americans. Fully 70+% think he did lie, so that's one of the things we were going to find. And way over 50% think that he did try to obstruct justice and impede justice. And we were just going to ask that those findings be made by a very large bipartisan group and then go on to making the decision on whether he should be removed or not, knowing full well that we won't have two-thirds, there won't be two-thirds who should say that he should be removed.
Well, is there any other course open? Findings of fact has failed. Censure looks controversial.
Well, this thing's got to come to an end, and we ought to get it over with.
You can watch Special Report with Britt Hume weeknights at 6 p.m. Eastern. And a programming note, stay with Fox News Channel all day tomorrow beginning at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. That's going to be 6 a.m. on the West Coast for your complete coverage of the impeachment trial. When we come back, we'll bring you a complete check of the day's headlines. And this, will the Y2K bug take a bite out of the travel industry? Find out next when your fair and balanced news channel returns. You're watching Fox News Now.
Mom loves when I make frosted cupcakes for us. Hurry up, the icing's ready.
No ugly dish will make me miss Kate's big dessert. And thanks to Dawn, I won't.
Dawn antibacterial surrounds and dissolves the toughest grease, better than any brand. Plus, it kills germs on hands, so you'll have no worries here.
Hi, Mommy. Who wants sprinkles?
With Dawn, I don't miss a thing.
Dawn antibacterial takes grease out of your way.
Hey, Baxter, what's for lunch?
Chicken noodle. Been eating it since I was a kid.
I used to eat condensed soup, and then I learned my ABCs. You're an adult now. There's a better tasting soup.
Progresso chicken noodle with only white meat chicken, big vegetables, just the right seasoning. See what I mean?
Much better.
Told you.
Now, want to talk about that lunchbox?
Discover the better taste of Progresso and win one of 50,000 cool blue prizes during Progresso's Blue is Better Instant Win Sweepstakes.
Got a new product here, and all I want to do is wash your hair. Hi, here in beautiful downtown Miami to find out what people think about new Perk Plus. I'm going to ask this lady, excuse me, ma'am? Excuse me, hi, could I ask you a couple of questions? Do you mind? Okay, have you ever used a shampoo and a conditioner all in the same bottle?
Yes, I have.
Okay. What'd you think of it?
I hated them. I don't like them. It's not good.
Have you ever tried one of those shampoos and conditioners in one?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, what?
I hate them.
You hate them? You don't like them at all? Why not? Why?
My hair feels...
They leave a buildup. It's buildup.
But I got an all-new version of Perk Plus with clean conditioning. Yeah, can you
Shampoo my hair right here.
Ironically enough, yeah. But this stuff, since they redid it, it's been revolutionarily redesigned and has water-based conditioning. There's no buildup, so your hair is going to feel clean.
Feels great.
Feels great.
Feels great.
I mean, I can feel the volume, just and the softness.
I love it.
Oh my gosh. Light? It's so soft. It's wonderful.
Yeah, that's Perk Plus with clean conditioning. If we can wash your hair, we can change your mind. Excuse me.
You know, in Washington, they have a number for everything. How things are going on the factory floor, at the retail store, how inflation's doing. But there's one number that's more important than any other, the employment report. It's coming out. Labor Secretary Alexis Herman on that.
Tape Tales hit the trial.
Will they make a difference as the Senate decides how to punish the president? A fair and balanced look at the impact of Monica's video from our all-star panel.
Tonight on the Fox Report. Welcome back. We've still got nearly a year to go before the year 2000 rolls around, but travel agents who have already had their first cyber visit to the new millennium. Despite all the warnings of Y2K computer crashes, the travel industry so far seems to be in the clear. Fox's Molly Falconer explains.
It was the first day airlines started taking bookings for the first day of the year 2000, and because of the worries about the so-called Y2K bug, no one was sure what would happen. Despite the anxiety, very little went wrong.
We've been checking around from agencies. So far, it's under control. Agents have been able to book January 1st today.
To make sure that would be the case, the 4 companies that run the air industry's computers had spent 5 years and hundreds of millions of dollars to try and get all the potential glitches out of the system. Y2K is potentially disastrous because computers are programmed to look at the last 2 numbers to tell what year it is. So the year 2000 could be read as the year 1900, thus snarling computer systems all over the world. Even though the vast network of airline reservations computers made it through the bookings for day 1 of Y2K, travel experts think they may have trouble after that.
The real trick comes when the year turns over. Will the computers become confused at that point about what the exact date is? And that's why, most big companies, particularly in the U.S., are spending the money that they're spending.
No one can tell for sure if the travel industry's smooth transition bodes well for everything else, but one thing that probably is for sure, January 1st, flights are likely to cost you more because airlines are expected to raise fares during the Millennium celebration. In New York, Molly Falconer, Fox News.
And straight ahead on Fox News now, King Hussein of Jordan is back at home and just clinging to life. We'll talk more about the man and his involvement in trying to bring peace to the Middle East. Haven't had much time to shop this week? Well, don't worry. Our man Steve Ducey has a recap of the hottest consumer stories of the week. And if you're feeling like heading out to the movie theater, stay tuned, because Fox's Bill McCuddy is going to drop by with the hottest new movies to grace the silver screen this weekend. All that and more, but first, let's turn to Lauren Green for a check of the headlines right now. Lauren?
John, thank you very much. Good afternoon. And good afternoon to you, everyone. King Hussein's condition is now being described as hopeless, and folks in Jordan are preparing for his death. Jordan's king was brought to a military hospital near Amman this morning. He's said to be clinically dead, but being sustained by life support machines. Government ministers, former prime ministers, and security chiefs have been meeting to work out details for a state funeral and accession of the new king. Jordanians are crying in the rain outside the hospital where King Hussein is dying. Some are offering prayers for his recovery. Others are offering their organs in hopes that a transplant might save the king. Ken Starr isn't done yet. Fox News has learned the independent counsel's office is looking into whether the White House fully complied with subpoenas. Starr's office wants to find out if audio recordings exist of President Clinton's phone conversations with Monica Lewinsky or Vernon Jordan. Starr's office won't comment on the report. The White House says it's complied with all subpoenas and denies there's a system for taping phone calls.
I'm not aware of any system to tape. I'm not aware of any tapes. I'm not aware of any subpoena request.
Monica's words will echo in the Senate chamber when the impeachment trial resumes tomorrow. Videotaped excerpts from her deposition will be played by House prosecutors and House lawyers. An Illinois death row inmate finds himself a free man, at least for now. After 16 years in prison, Anthony Porter was set free. Northwestern University journalism students may have tracked down the real killer.
I had no expectation that Al Story Simon would admit on camera that he committed these crimes. It's unprecedented, I think.
Al Story Simon reportedly confessed to the crime that Porter's been doing time for. If Simon's confession pans out, prosecutors will reopen the murder case. Iron Mike is hoping a judge doesn't strike him a costly blow. The former heavyweight champ gets sentenced on assault charges today. The judge's decision will determine if Mike Tyson gets put back behind bars for violating probation on a rape conviction. And it may also mean Tyson will get stripped of his boxing license for the second time in less than 2 years. Remember the Atlanta Falcon who ended up in jail the night before the Super Bowl, charged with trying to hire a prostitute who was actually an undercover cop? Well, earlier that day, Eugene Robinson won football's Bart Starr Award, an award for high moral character. Well, now Robinson says he's returning the honor. Athletes in Action, the group that sponsors the award, hasn't really asked Robinson to do anything. Those are your fair and balanced headlines. I'm Lauren Green, and I'll have another update for you at the top of the hour. But time now, we'll turn it back over to John Scott. Hey, John.
All right, Lauren, thanks very much. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, an informed customer is harder to trick. We'll tell you all about the latest consumer news of the week when we bring you the consumer news you need to know right here on Fox News Channel.
Want a biscuit that's bigger? Try Pillsbury Grand's biscuits. They're our biggest biscuits.
Big? Why, they're huge!
Big, delicious buttermilk biscuits made from a home-style recipe with real buttermilk for a taste that's light and fluffy.
They're not just big, they're grand! Woohoo!
And for something different, try Golden Wheat or Golden Corn Grands.
Huh?
Lunch is served.
You can't eat me, Putty Tat.
You're right. And you know why, my fine feathered friend?
It's not in my contract?
No, because a sandwich just isn't a sandwich without the tangy yow!
What's eating him?
Oh, yeah. I have my period. I'm lost with 4 guys. 341 miles from nowhere. What am I gonna do? Go home? Don't think so.
Tampax. Over 10 layers of protection, so you can do what you gotta do. Tampax, without a doubt.
I'm Sean Hannity.
I'm Alan Colmes.
The end of the impeachment race, well, that's near.
Will senators cross the finish line by the end of next week?
Or will witness videos change the trial's course?
Catch a fair and balanced debate
tonight, right here on Hannity and Colmes.
It's the final round of the trial. Do House managers have the evidence to rally last-minute Senate votes? Plus, can Republicans save face with voters turned off by impeachment? Find out from RNC Chair Jim Nicholson tonight on the Crier Report.
King Hussein has been wearing Jordan's crown for nearly half a century, bending but never breaking under its weight. He was willing to compromise for peace, but fought to meet death on his own terms, back on the sands of his native land. Fox's Greg Palcott has the latest on the ailing King of Jordan.
The weather in Amman, Jordan is usually beautiful, but today it's been windy, cold, and rainy, fitting the mood exactly of the Jordanian people. Their king, King Hussein, is on the verge of death. King arrived here this morning from the United States after unsuccessful treatment of cancer. Right now, he is on a life support system, and that is said to be the only thing keeping him alive. One source saying that he is clinically dead, another source saying that he could come off of that system within the next 24 hours. But Jordanian television went on the air a short while ago to deny those reports, saying that King Hussein is alive, contrary to the stories coming from foreign governments. Regardless, a lot of eyes right now on Crown Prince Abdullah. He is the heir apparent to the throne. If the king were to pass away, he would be in charge. He has very little experience, and he has a very tough act to follow. The king has been a symbol of conciliation, of moderation, of negotiation in the Mideast, this very tough region, for a long, long time. Honoring those traits, about 100 Jordanians, they've been standing vigil outside the hospital where the king is, paying their respects, perhaps their last respects, to their beloved leader. In Amman, Jordan, Greg Palcott, Fox News.
In a region dotted with small-minded people bent on hatred, Jordan's King Hussein rose as a giant crusading for peace. Here to share his personal stories of King Hussein, Daniel Pipes, editor of Middle East Quarterly. Mr. Pipes, welcome. Thanks for joining us at what must be, I'm sure, for you a very sad time. You met with the king a number of times, I understand.
Well, no, not that much. I met him in public functions. Actually, I knew the former Crown Prince quite a bit better. But I've followed his career for a long time and am familiar with the true greatness of the man.
He seemed like a very warm and inspiring individual on TV. Would you agree?
Yes, indeed, and also a deeply civilized one. In a region full of barbarians who are in charge of governments, this was a man who was civilized to the core.
What was it that made him reach out for peace to the Israelis, for instance, at a time when most of the other Middle Eastern governments, the Arab governments, would not do so?
Good question. You have to understand a bit about Jordanian history. Jordan came into existence on one bright day in March 1921 when Winston Churchill, of all people, conjured it up for reasons of British imperial politics. And for the first 30 years of its existence, Jordan was more or less a British friend colony. And only in the 1950s, with King Hussein in charge, as a very young man, teenager at first, did it become an independent state. But it still remained very friendly to Britain and to the United States, very Western-oriented. And to this day, the Crown Prince, the new Crown Prince, speaks English better than Arabic.
Jordan, for under the king, really made a tremendous amount of progress, didn't it?
Yes, when he took over in 1952, it was a poor, very vulnerable country, weak, insecure. Now, 2 generations later, it's still relatively small in terms of population and military power, but it's far more secure, far more economically advanced, and far larger on the world stage.
When I was there, I guess it was just before the Gulf during the build-up to the Gulf War. I spent some time in Amman, and I couldn't help but being struck by the Palestinian presence there, and I would describe it as a Palestinian problem. I mean, the refugee camps that were so just overrun with people with absolutely nothing to do. That was one of the things, one of the problems facing his regime that he never really found a way to conquer, did he?
Well, you're right, but at the same time, Jordan was the only Arab country under King Hussein to accept Palestinian refugees and integrate them. So people who had been refugees or who remained refugees elsewhere for 50 years in Jordan have been integrated. And while there are some people who are still in camps, and as you described, most are fully integrated into society, which is both a great strength of the Jordanian economy and a problem looking forward to the future, because the East Bankers, as they're known, the non-Palestinians, have a quite different political agenda from the Palestinians. East Bankers tend to be much more inward-looking. Palestinians are far more outward-looking.
Well, why is it that King Hussein has been able to be so Western-looking, that is, Western-leaning, when he was surrounded by neighbors like Iraq, who obviously would like nothing better than to turn their backs on the West completely or even destroy it?
Well, in part, the answer is in your question. Precisely because his enemies have been so radical, he turned towards the West, and his grandfather before him. And there are three main enemies right now, or three main challenges, potential challenges. One is from Iraq, one is from Syria, and the third is from the Palestinians. They might all come sequentially at the same time, but we can be sure to see some exciting times for Jordan in the months and years ahead.
We have, the United States has made warnings to Iraq that it should not try anything funny just because the king is on his deathbed. Do you really think that there is the possibility of some kind of military action or military strike at a time like this?
I didn't specifically mean military. It could be political, it could be subversion, I'm not sure what, but I've got to tell you that an American threat to Iraq at this moment doesn't seem to me a very credible one. I don't think the Iraqis are going to be dissuaded from making mischief because we're telling them not to. I'm worried. I mean, this is a major event in Jordanian history. Jordan is, as you indicated, right at the fulcrum of Middle Eastern events. And let's hope that the young new king-to-be is going to be up to the task. He is an unknown to everyone. He is an unknown to himself in this sense because he hasn't had the kind of training to prepare for this.
Well, we certainly will wish him the best. Daniel Pipes, Middle East Quarterly. Thanks very much for being with us.
Thank you, John.
Coming up next, buyer beware or be in trouble. We'll help you shop smart right after this. Plus, it's called Sofa Cinema, and it can save you hundreds of dollars a year. Watch this before heading for the movie theater.
When you use Lever 2000, you'll always feel like being close. Because Lever 2000 is a tough deodorant clean, so you want to get close. But we also have moisturizers for your skin, so you want to stay close. Lever 2000, the touchable clean for all your 2000 parts.
My job is to compare products. And it's not often that I'm surprised. So when Head & Shoulders went up against the leading prescription brand, I expected the prescription to be better. But it isn't. A study proves Head & Shoulders is effective against dandruff. I found out there's a microscopic fungus associated with dandruff, and Head & Shoulders helps kill it. Helps stop flakes before they even start. Not even the expensive prescription works better. You may never see flakes again. I don't.
Relive the greatest fights in TV history. Archie Bunker versus Edith.
Ain't it bad enough you're a dingbat? You want to be a bird dog, too?
Archie versus Mike.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but you are one dumb polar.
And Archie versus everyone.
I never said a guy who wears glasses is a queer. A guy who wears glasses is a four-eyes. A guy who is a fag is a queer.
Columbia House Video presents an exclusive TV offer. The All in the Family Collector's Edition, featuring the very best of Archie's outbursts. Now you can visit TV's most outrageous family anytime you want.
Archie, how was your day? Oh, that's nice.
Call now and we'll deliver your first All in the Family video for just $4.95 with subscription. You'll get 4 complete shows, including the premiere episode where Archie takes on love.
All right. Easy to get me all wet.
Keep it and get a new video every month. Each volume contains 4 landmark episodes, uncut and commercial-free. Remember, this is an exclusive television offer. You can't find these videos in any store, so relive the memorable moments. Laugh with the award-winning cast. And get in on some of the funniest battles of the century.
Who's talking to you?
Call toll-free now to get your first All in the Family video, including the premiere episode, for just $4.95.
And let the fight begin! To order your first All in the Family video for just $4.95 plus $3.99 shipping and handling, call 1-800-357-1046 now. There's no minimum to buy. Cancel anytime. Subscriptions are subject to review. Sales tax added to all orders. Future cassettes arrive every 4 to 6 weeks and are $19.95 plus shipping and handling. Call 1-800-357-1046 now.
Welcome back. For a look at some of the headlines from this week's consumer news, let's go to Fox's Steve Doocy for the Shoppers Market.
Local phone service has found a new way to reach out and touch someone. AT&T and Time Warner are teaming up to sell local telephone service over your cable TV lines. That means phone wires would connect to the same outside cable that provides TV service. But don't look for this to happen right away. Time Warner and AT&T plan on offering the new service in only 1 or 2 cities by the end of the year. In news you can use above the ground, it's going to cost you a little more to fly the friendly skies. United, U.S. Airways, and TWA are the latest airlines to follow Delta's lead in airfare hikes. So now there is a 4% increase on leisure tickets and 2% on business trips. But even though you'll be paying more, the quality of service should get better. 2 senators plan to introduce a bill requiring airlines to tell you why a flight was delayed or canceled. So how's that for a little RESPECT? If paying your credit card bill is not enough to worry about, now you can add fraud to the list. Protecting yourself from credit scams was the theme of this week's first annual National Consumer Protection Week. So what can you do to protect yourself? Well, the FTC suggests, before giving out any personal info, find out how it's going to be used. Never put your Social Security number on a check, and order a copy of your credit report every year. And finally, it may get a little easier to keep track of where your favorite entertainers are going to perform. Ticketmaster has launched a new website this week called my.ticketmaster.com. And through this personalized website, you can find out when your favorite artist is coming to your town. Now, all you have to do is register the kinds of music or events you like to see, and then you will be notified by Ticketmaster when those acts are headed into your town. It's absolutely free, but it does involve a little elbow grease. You've got to go to my.ticketmaster.com to sign up. It's that simple. With this week's Consumer Headlines, I'm Steve Doocy in the Shoppers Market.
And you can spend $8 or $9 at the Multiplex this weekend, or you can relax with some sofa cinema. Fox Entertainment correspondent Dana Kennedy shows us what's new on video.
There's just something we have to tell you about this week's video preview. Ow! It's rated G for gross.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
But it's a good gross. One of the classic movies of the year is just out at the rental counter. And you'll never feel the same way about hair gel again after There's Something About Mary. It stars Cameron Diaz and Ben Stiller. And for you elitists who think this Farrelly Brothers masterwork is just stupid slapstick, remember, the very elite New York Film Critics Society voted Cameron Diaz Best Actress this year for this very movie. The other movie out on video this week is anything but gross. It's Disney's Mulan. Now, I'm no fan of animated movies, but I like Mulan. When will my reflection shine? There's something about Mulan that stirs the soul. Ming-Na Wen voices the character of Mulan, a Chinese girl who disguises herself as a soldier in the Chinese army to save her father's life. But enough goodness. Let's go back to the really stupid stuff. And if you're looking for some other classic Farrelly Brothers fandangos, start with 1994's Dumb and Dumber.
Mark! Yeah! Yeah!
This is not just the movie that showcased Jim Carrey's fabulous bold cut. It also brought Carrey a bride. He and co-star Lauren Holly fell in love on the set.
Dollface, how about bringing me a little lady luck, huh? Sure thing!
And for those who would rather die than be caught watching Masterpiece Theater or the latest Merchant and Ivory period piece, there's the Farrelly Brothers bowling epic Kingpin. Okay, the beginning is a little harsh when a bowler gets his hand torn off, but Bill Murray is in a league of his own and co-star Woody Harrelson throws nothing but strikes. And remember, be kind, unwind. In New York, Dana Kennedy, Fox News.
Yeah. Up next, before you blow all that money on a bad movie, get Bill McCuddy's hard-hitting review. That and much more on your fair and balanced alternative, Fox News Channel.
Very nice.
No, I was talking about the pizza.
Who delivered?
It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno, the frozen pizza that bakes up fresh, like pizzeria pizza.
I'll never know.
Look, Mom, in the entire land for what? To guard our house.
Ooh, he's very scary. I'm afraid to put him on the fridge.
I'll do it. Uh-oh.
You can count on Bounty for even the scariest messes. Ordinary towels fall apart, even top quality towels, but Bounty's more durable.
Let's keep him right here. Yeah, it gives us hungry. The protein quicker picker upper Bounty.
Introducing Pillsbury Homestyle Loaf.
Uncle Lou? Mom? It's Rex! He's home!
Fill your home with the warmth and aroma of home-baked bread. It really brings a family.
We're together!
New Homestyle Loaf.
Want to get these great Pillsbury things? Get the Doughboy Store catalog first. Call now to see how.
Frequent heartburn. Is it worse at night, especially after dinner?
Mm-hmm.
Have you treated it, but still suffer on 2 or more days a week?
Mm-hmm.
Has your heartburn been a persistent problem for you? Your heartburn may be due to a potentially serious condition called acid reflux disease. Ask your doctor about Prilosec. Just 1 capsule daily can provide 24-hour complete heartburn relief. 24 hours. Ask your doctor for more information about Prilosec and if it's right for you. The most common side effects are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. Want 24-hour heartburn relief with 1 daily dose? Ask your doctor about the 24-hour complete heartburn relief of Prilosec.
Saturday night, sitting on witness testimony. Where does the president stand now? No punches pulled on the O'Reilly factor. Then, what'll come out this time? One thing, it won't be old hat. Gotta know, catch Drudge. And cheating and getting away with it. A lively squaring off at the round table on This Evening with Judith Regan. Trial Talk, fair and balanced. Saturday night, only on the Fox News Channel.
A giant mirror in outer space will heat up temperatures here on Earth, or at least that was the plan. Cosmonauts on the Mir space station ran into some problems when they attempted to bring science fiction to life. Simon Marks has more.
It sounded too good to be true. A huge mirror in space beaming rays of light back to Earth, with the potential to light cities and bring power to the remotest corners of the planet. At Moscow's Mission Control, they were trying to bring science fiction to life today, as the crew on board the Russian space station Mir battled to begin an experiment to determine the project's viability. Unlike an earlier test, today's experiment didn't go well. The mirror wouldn't fully open when the cosmonauts gave the command. The entire test had to be postponed. If you think you've heard the idea before, you have.
The power of that thing could be incredible. And Blofeld's got it.
James Bond saved the world from a similar device in Diamonds Are Forever. The Russians say, unlike its Hollywood counterpart, today's space mirror isn't designed for military purposes. Back on Earth, some Muscovites were following the experiment live on the internet, not surprised to discover that, as usual, developments on board Mir were not going according to plan. Outside, those braving temperatures of -20 said whatever the cost, the experiment would be worth it, if one day it might warm up a Russian winter.
Is it cool? It's great. I'm cold, and if it makes me warmer, that's good.
But before that can happen, it's back to the drawing board for the scientists at Mission Control, who failed today to beam a ray of light from Kazakhstan to Canada. Today's botched experiment meant there was nothing new in the skies over Winnipeg, Calgary or Quebec City. For the project ever to work on a grand scale will require an investment of $200 million US. And that may be the plan's fatal flaw, because in this country right now, you stand more chance of finding a sun-drenched beach than an investor with that kind of pocket change. Simon Marks, Moscow.
If you're looking for weekend plans, there are plenty of choices for you at the movies. Fox's Bill McCuddy has them, but first, you got to give us Sean Connery one more time.
We were watching him in that package. The Russians would like to get their hands on the Lecter. Diamonds Are Forever is one of my favorites.
Thank you very much.
Got it.
You can go now.
Now, here we go. Here's what's at the movies for real. Buffy becomes irresistible. Mel Gibson wants his money back. Nick Cage's cousin takes on Bill Murray. And Spielberg heads back to the beach. It's your weekend at the movies.
Oh, my God. He's here.
Sarah Michelle Gellar isn't fighting vampires. She's fending off an urge to float.
What's going on here?
We're floating.
She's got the kind of magic that could make her simply irresistible.
We met, and these amazing things started to happen.
This is real girl power, but could she take Shannon Doherty in a bar fight?
They weren't wearing their seatbelts.
Next, Mel Gibson is carrying a grudge and a big IOU in payback.
You're not going to kill me, are you?
Basically, he's out for revenge after his wife and best friend leave him for dead. That's the Sue-happy Lucy Liu from Ally McBeal along for the ride. Gibson reshot about a third of it following rewrites and director troubles. Did it pay off? We'll see. Then Bill Murray and newcomer Jason Schwartzman come to blows over a dame in the wonderfully offbeat Rushmore.
Has it ever crossed your mind that you're far too young for me?
Think Ferris Bueller on an irony-rich diet. It's in Schwartzman's genes. His mom is Talia Shire, and Nick Cage is his cousin. Murray commits grand theft in each of his scenes and is getting some serious Oscar buzz. And speaking of Oscars, Steven Spielberg is taking no chances. The Academy Award nominations are out next week, and Saving Private Ryan is back in theaters to remind everyone it wants to storm more than Normandy. Those Oscar nominations, by the way, John, are Tuesday morning. Kevin Spacey will be getting up at 5:30 Pacific Coast time to read them to all of us. And I really think Bill Murray has a shot here as a Best Supporting Actor. This is almost a comeback vehicle for him because the movies he's made recently have been pretty dreadful, including The Man Who Knew Too Little. But in this one, he gets to play basically what he was born to, which is a 12-year-old in a 53-year-old body.
And the best actor, you think that's Tom Hanks?
I think he'll be nominated. I'm not sure he gave the best performance of the year. That's for the Academy to decide. Terrence Malick's Thin Red Line has a couple of outstanding ones, including, if you like impressions, Nick Nolte.
We're going to go to the top of that hill now. We're going to get up here and go.
Bill McCuddy. We will look forward to seeing what happens when they're announced. Thanks very much. And that does it for me. I'm John Scott. Stay tuned for the Cavuto Business Report for a complete wrap-up of the day's markets. Neil's special guest, Labor Secretary Alexis Herman, who gives her thoughts on those newly released employment numbers. And the #1 producer of canned fruits and vegetables goes public. How well is Wall Street receiving it? Neil will be here to explain. Stay with us for more. You're on the Fair and Balanced Fox News Channel.
Maybe they should just say NASDAQ. Welcome, everybody. Technology stocks taking on the chin again. We'll explore whether the point-and-click crowd is set to crash and burn. Plus, as the economy continues ripping and roaring, Labor Secretary Alexis Herman on that jumping job market and what another strong employment report means for the economy. And what do all these big stock offerings mean for investors? We'll ask the latest entrants, Del Monte Foods CEO Rick Wolford and Delphi Automotive Systems J.T. Battenberg. But first, the headlines.
Fox News Now, I'm Lauren Green. The impeachment trial is coming to a close.